Welcome to CCRS Regional Briefing Podcast. My name is Rotha. I am the Deputy Director of the Cambodian Center for Regional Studies. And today, I'm delighted to have an inaugural episode on the podcast on the Cambodia foreign policy outlook in 2026. But before going deep dive to the topic itself, I just want to introduce the purpose of the podcast. So this podcast, it's a new program of CCRS. We have the objective to make this podcast as a platform to instill the conversation on pressing regional and international issues concerning to Cambodia and Southeast Asia. We try to convene relevant stakeholders such as scholars, diplomats, and practitioners to engage in this kind of conversation, of which we aim to go beyond the headlines and try to have a holistic view on the context and the long-term trends and strategic issues related to Cambodia and Southeast Asia. So, back to the topic. We are now living in a world with a very uncertain and complex world order. We have witnessed the intensification of the geopolitical competition among the great powers. We have witnessed the instability of domestic politics within Southeast Asia. And other than the traditional security issues, we also seen the rise of non-traditional security challenges, such as the issue of climate change, among others. And especially lately, we have seen the proliferated of transnational crime, of which it affects to regional states as a whole. Cambodia, just like any other Southeast Asian countries, is no exception to all those challenges. In 2025, we cannot overlook the situation, the breakdown of relations between Cambodia and Thailand, of which leading to have a renewable conflict with 2 rounds of fighting. Beyond the Cambodia-Thailand conflict, the cyber scam and other and related transnational crimes also affected and taunted Cambodia image. And there are also dynamics within the region, dynamics of relation between Cambodia and the region, and also our recalibrated relations with great powers. Especially we have seen the so-called reset tie between Cambodia and the United States in the past 6 months. With this regard, I think it is timely to discuss the Cambodia foreign policy outlook, especially in 2026. And today we honor to engage with His Excellency Ambassador Sothirak to this conversation with us, His Excellency. So let us begin with the first question. Could you share your view on the major megatrends that are affected to Cambodia foreign policy, sir?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I would like to extend sincere appreciation and congratulate the Cambodian Center for Regional Study, and particularly Mr. Rotha, Director of CCRS, for taking this opportunity to engage me in this very important discussion centering on Cambodian foreign policy 2026 going forward. I subscribe to the opening remark made by Mr. Hemraka that Cambodia foreign policy going forward, starting from this year, will be a rocky one. It will be very challenging for Cambodia. So I appreciate the first question with regard to the megatrend. In my view, the Cambodian foreign policy this year, 2026 and beyond 2026, will be challenged by the ability of Cambodia to address challenges that are deriving from geopolitical uncertainty and other global megatrends that are currently running deep within the sprawling nature of the international system that we know of. And I wanted to highlight some of these megatrends and mention that they are powerful. They represent long-term forces that can have that will have the ability to shape the world order on the one hand and affect Cambodia on the other hand in a surprising way if we do not have a adequate, sufficient policy response. These megatrends primarily, in my view, center around technological disruptions. We are now living in the age of technology advancement, but mindful that as these advancement going forward, there will be definitely some disruption that caused by the negative aspect of these technology. I think the world has been confronted with this this megatrend very glaringly. Yeah. And also climate change, demographic shift. Urbanizations and aging society remain big issues also for countries like Japan and so on. The evolving of economic uncertainty that born out from mainly the U.S.-China trade war, and the social inequality and instability that derive from the weaker and less developed state trying to find the right policy approach to uplift their economic development, and the decline of the rule-based order and the rise of authoritarianism that has been play out as well throughout the continent. And I have to also mention the geopolitical realignment of the world order, particularly the tussle or the power competition that is basically play out between U.S. and China. So all of these issues, these mega issues, or we can say trend, they are interconnected and they are influence. They have great influence over society, businesses, economy of any country, as well as the political security aspects of those countries as well. And why is it that these key trends matter to Cambodia? And I wanted to take this opportunity to share my perspective as to why we have to pay attention to these mega trends. The first it have to do with the interconnectedness of these mega trends. In other words, these trends don't act isolatedly. They influence and amplify each other in their own way, and they create a very complex challenge or system to overcome us. Like we are talking about the decline of rule-based order, the decline of multilateralism yes. in the region and globally. The second point is when these megatrends play out, they impact every country, big and small. Everyone is affected. They affect government, business, an individual. And for Cambodia, we have to think of a more pragmatic strategy and adaptations policy that can help Cambodia manage or navigate this megatrend appropriately. The third point I want to make is that although there's this megatrend is playing out now and it's more negative than positive, within the context of global occurrence, when they occur globally, there are opportunity and risk involved. In other words, country like Cambodia, which is less developed, it will present a chance for innovations, for creativity, and for initiative that Cambodia should think seriously about improving our educational system, a kind of educational system that can fit into a global skill improvement, so that we can mitigate some of these technological challenges. But we also have to exercise a very outward-looking foreign policy to embrace friends all over the world, particularly countries that have that emerge as a cutting-edge technology, and begin to have a very healthy relationship with all of them, so as to capture the opportunity correctly. And as far as challenge is concerned, I think Cambodia, it would be best for Cambodia as a small state, remain very actively involved with global conversation. We need to be able to sit down at the UN platform on global change, or there is a new framework on economic to address economic downturns and so on. We need to be there to not only to listen and hear and be aware of the issues, but to perhaps learn from these global platforms, so that we can bring home or initiate at home some of the initiative that require for Cambodia to be ready. Because I think in these megatrend is a long term to me, and Cambodia should have a long term view in addressing this megatrend as well.
Yes, sir. You mentioned some of the megatrends such as the technological disruption, climate change, demographic shift, among others. And indeed, some of those challenges, Cambodia begins to feel it. Like, for instance, the economic uncertainties. For example, we of course have recovered bit by bit since the COVID-19 pandemic. But recently, there are some challenges, like the ongoing tensions between Cambodia and Thailand, for example, which pose some sort of a challenge to our economy, and other megathreats such as the decline rules-based birth order. I think this is something that put on a toll effect towards Cambodia, because from my point of view, I think Cambodia, we as a small state, and we have the best available choice is to subscribe to the principle of international law and multilateralism. So from your point of view, you mentioned about the need for Cambodia to engage in the global conversation and so on. So how could Cambodia participate in the regional and global platform to uphold the principle of international law and strengthen the multilateralism, sir?
Yeah. Well, thank you again for this important question. To begin with, I think Cambodia need to work ourselves through the regional grouping called ASEAN to try to present Cambodia view on global or regional issues. ASEAN is a very solid platform whereby Cambodia can springboard our foreign policy in a positive way, and to demonstrate that Cambodia does have agency in injecting new idea, new initiative to address some of these regional issues and as well as global issues. So I think the first step in the right direction would be to engage Cambodia more actively in all the ASEAN framework that have to do with addressing both traditional and non-traditional security that confront this region. And I wanted to highlight just one or two as an example with regard to specifically on addressing the issues of digital transformation. For example, there's still a gap for a country like Cambodia because we are less developed. We need to catch up with the pace that has been evolved, and some of other countries within ASEAN, they have already put in place, if I'm not mistaken, some national policy in addressing some of these digital transformation already. And I think Cambodia is contemplating or thinking hard, seriously about transitioning ourselves toward a more IT-driven high-end technology transfer that will propel Cambodia faster. Same go with green energy, same go with climate change and so on. I think Cambodia need to be aware and to be a part of this regional effort that bring forth a more equitable policy that allow small country like Cambodia reap full benefit of this transformation. On geopolitical aspect, Cambodia need to hasten or enhance our position with regard to multilateralism and rule-based order, because in my view, it is the international law, the international system that we know of today is a better guarantee for Cambodia when it comes to protecting our own sovereignty amid some turbulent situation, like in the case of a Thai-Cambodian border. And I like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Cambodian government for and the parliament for ratifying the UNCLOS, the law of the sea. I think a few days ago, these ratifications represent a new stepping stone toward Cambodia understanding the importance of international law and seeking international law to properly protect our own sovereignty. Yeah. So I think these are issues that we need to continue now going forward. We need to make sure that we fulfill all the requirement that is required from UNCLOS to be a full-fledged and good standing of a membership of UNCLOS.
Yes, sir. That's right. We on the process of fully associate ourselves with UNCLOS in the upcoming future. So I want to touch upon with you. There are some views. There are some critical views against the principle of international law these days. As we all know that the flare up of tension between Cambodia and Thailand pose some sort of doubt toward the effectiveness of the international law and as well as the concept of multilateral platforms. Since there are some views saying that ASEAN is too slow, ASEAN doing nothing, this and that. So responding to those critics of this concept, what is your comment on this matter, sir?
Yeah, another good point you make. And it's good time to review what has been happening and how Cambodia posture as a small state toward the international law. A very good question. I wanted to bring to the attentions of our viewer that, by adhering wholeheartedly, seriously toward international law, there are concrete benefit to Cambodia. And I give you some example. When the decision was made with regard to the first ICJ adjudications over the ownership or the sovereignty of Temple Prairie in 1962, everybody know that Cambodia win the case against Thailand. And this is when both countries during that time agreed to take the matter to the court, taking the issues of sovereignty of the Temple of Prairie to court. And in 1962, we win the court. And then when Cambodia succeed in listing in the Temple of Prairie here as a World Heritage Site with UNESCO, there was another flare-up again on this time not just only the issues of sovereignty over the temple, but also a land surrounding the temple. And Cambodia again asking the court or seeking the court adjudications on the surrounding area of the temple as well. And again here in the flare-up starting in 2008, and the second ruling of ICJ in the case that Cambodia seeking International Court of Justice judgment was rendered by the end of 2013. And again, the ICJ mentioned that the Temple of Prairie and the land surrounding the temple is located within the sovereignty, within the territory of Cambodia. So again, Cambodia win the second case again. Now, recent flare-up of the border dispute started with the dispute basically on 4 specific areas. 3 temple and the land in Mumbai in the Emerald Triangles or Chongbok, Thai side. And Cambodia, we refer to Mumbai. So there's some land dispute there, plus 3 temples, Prasat Tamon Khom, Prasat Tamon Tui, and Prasat Takrapai. And I think at the beginning and height of the dispute, Cambodia declared that Cambodia would take this matter to the court for adjudication again. And the Thai side does not agree to this or does not want to take this matter to the court and prefer bilateral. So there was some doubt about the role of International Court of Justice in with regard to sovereignty claims such as the 4 areas that I mentioned. So I wanted to explain a little bit about the principle behind using ICJ as a way to secure or to adjudicate or to rule over some contentious issues like sovereignty claim like this one. In principle, the International Court of Justice is based on consents. That means party in conflict have to consent the court to rule over the contested issues between them, be it land or temple in this case. And as you can see and understand clearly from the eruption until today, that Thailand does not prefer to take this matter to court. So Cambodia preferred to take this matter to court. I also want to explain why Cambodia opt to do that. I think, one of the basic understanding that people should have with regard to Cambodian choices toward ICJ is that Cambodia want to settle the dispute, particularly the land border dispute between Thailand, peacefully. Peaceful settlement of dispute. That is a choice of Cambodia. And seeking adjudication from the International Court of Justice, like the ICJ, is one of the peaceful way. It's a way of using the International Court of Justice to verify or to rule over the claim that conflicting party put forward to. So seeking ICJ doesn't mean that Cambodia seek to alienate Thailand or to use a mechanism that is not internationally acceptable. ICJ has been used in many parts of the world when two countries or multiple countries have problem, on sovereignty claim. So I think that point need to be understood properly. Cambodia seek peaceful settlement of dispute, but through ICJ. Of course, Thailand prefer bilateral talk using existing mechanisms such as JBC and GBC and other, the MOU 2000, for example, as a basis of demarcate the border, the international border between Thailand and Cambodia. On this point, I also want to clarify that Cambodia is also very much would like to see this is happening also. In other words, Cambodia also exercise option toward bilateral negotiation. However, from the past experience, as I mentioned, and reviewing the case before, there is some concern that, and the reason we take it to ICJ because, when there was a flare-up in 2008, Cambodia called for ASEAN mediation. We take the matter to the international community through the UN, and also call on Thailand to negotiate through the existing mechanism. But there was still not Cambodia not satisfied because Thailand have always preferred to use some kind of military offensive deterrence toward Cambodia. In other words, put a lot of pressure, military pressure at the border. To a point, there's a breakdown of a peaceful condition between two sides, flare up of armed clashes, and each other blame each other about who shoot first, and so on. But the point about bilateral way of settle the dispute, Cambodia have given all Cambodia preoccupation toward this mechanism as well. Until today, Cambodia, I think, prefer to talk over with Thailand on the differences or the disagreement with regard to the land border. But it didn't go anywhere. And the most important aspects of this breakdown boil down to the use of map. The map that Cambodia use or only agree to use when it comes to demarcating the international border between Thailand and Cambodia is the Annex 1 map that was a production of Franco Siamese Demarcations Commission set up by the treaty in 1904. The treaty, the convention of 1904 and then treaty of 1907 between Siam and France. So to say the least, that Cambodia exercise all available option, including the taking this matter to the ICJ, and whether the ICJ able to rule over a case or not ruling case, Cambodia will still seek the jurisdictions or the protection from the ICJ when we face this big threat from Thailand, particularly military threat. So we'll have to wait and see, and Cambodia will use this option to be considered when we deal with Thailand. Should the talk going forward does not produce any meaningful result, particularly a result that recognize Cambodian right to ownership to those land based on a legal map that has been inscribed or referred to in the MOU 2000. Cambodia will remain, will preserve this option to be used should the talk fail. Now, after in July of last year until the end of the year, there's a series of ceasefire agreement and the peace accord that brokered by first and foremost President Donald Trump and supported strongly by the chair of ASEAN then, which is Malaysia. Yeah. And then the recent ceasefire agreement that was brokered by China in Yunnan toward the end of the year. These are, to me, a legal document that both Thailand and Cambodia should sit down seriously and try to implement those agreements faithfully and commit themselves to de-escalate the tension through these framework and then try to return normalcy to the two countries again. Yes, the excellent relationship that Cambodia and Thailand have before May 28 of last year.
Yes, for sure. Last year was supposed to be the 75-year anniversary between of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Cambodia and Thailand, but unfortunately, this kind of event, the losing trust and confidence, and this kind of military confrontation occur. Before going to deep down to the normalization of relations or something, I'm a little bit curious on this point because looking from the regional point of view, we have seen many Southeast Asian conflicts have been involved in some shape or form by extra-regional actors. Like you rightly mentioned, the conflict between Cambodia and Thailand. On the other hand, the first ceasefire and the first peace agreement, peace accord signed in Malaysia was witnessed by the U.S. President Donald Trump. But the second ceasefire in December, one way or another, supported by the China trilateral meeting in Yunnan. So I like to seek your insight on why Southeast Asia is prone to have extra-regional actors involvement.
Okay. When you are small and weak, or small meaning in terms of size, weak meaning your relative sphere of influence in the international system or regional system, you are susceptible to external influence. It's go without saying. This is how this world is shaping up to be, and that's why most states, even small states like Singapore, they are very strong in defense. For example, they have a very robust national defense policy that help them deter external threat. So, having said that, Cambodia is small, therefore you are subject to influence from external country. And the first influence that we see, or then there is this flare up. President Trump engagement with Cambodia-Thai border conflict is because the American wanted to see peace between the two countries instead of a conflict like this. Repeatedly at the early stage, President Trump portray himself as a man of peace, and he wants peace to settle back to both Thailand and Cambodia. And through this thinking, he make a phone call. He called to both leader, prime minister, both sides, and asked them to agree to stop fighting through the policy engagement, through dialogue, through consultation, where he also used pressure from his tariffs, So that's a kind of influence you see from big state. So the United States use reciprocal tariff as a way to influence both Cambodia and Thailand. But I think the use of tariff as a pressure work, in my view, perfectly in the way that Cambodia want to have peace. So I think Cambodia very much appreciate President Trump initiative, and Thailand also agreed to it at the early stage. But then because of, Thailand have a bit of a different view about the conflict.
Yep.
They would secure, to them peace is important, but sovereignty is more important. They form the view that Cambodian as a country want to take over Thai's territory, which is completely a contradiction to the Cambodian government announcement. We have no desire to take Thai territory at all. We only to protect. Whatever we do in response to the military conflicts that is happening is to respond to the Thai aggression. The use of excessive force, for example. That's why we have to exercise our right to defense, so to speak, our territory. But again, on the other hand, on the other big power like China also want to see peace happen between Cambodia and Thailand. And China have a different way of addressing the issues through their so-called perhaps a discreet diplomacy, but diplomacy that based on dialogue, understanding, creating a mutual trust and understanding as a way to settle the matter. China have not put any pressure on Cambodia and Thailand, but being a good friend to both country have to heed the call from China to call for reduced tension and to use a dialogue as a way to resolve the issue. So that's why you have this recent ceasefire agreement signed in China, mediated by China. And this ceasefire agreement plus the KL peace accord that is brokered by President Trump, the U.S., remain in full-fledged as a framework to help Cambodia and Thailand to return back to normalcy. So these are influences that you continue to see because big state want to see Cambodia and Thailand remain peaceful. So they offer their mediation. This is a kind of pressure or intervention from them. But in my view, these are good intervention. Cambodia need mediation. In my view, if you leave it to both Cambodia and Thailand to resolve their dispute, there's only two options, whether peaceful or through a military mean. And so far, although Cambodia want peaceful settlement of dispute, but what you see is a military mean occurring times and again. The fighting in July, the fighting in December. It's basically entrenched by Thailand view with regard to how they want to secure their land that they think belong to them without giving peace a chance. In other words, they use military. As we speak today, my information is that there are some contested area at the border is now being stationed by Thai troops. In other words, they put Thai troops there to secure their position. And I think Cambodia have tried very hard to call for a reconvening of the JBC, the Joint Border Committee, to address some of these issues that is happening now. Yeah. So external pressure is there. And on the part of ASEAN, I wanted to end by mentioning that President Anwar, being the chair of ASEAN, last year should be complimented and and I think Cambodia are grateful to his effort. The Cambodian people also take note of it. The very strong commitment from Prime Minister Anwar in resolve these issues through mediation, the ASEAN way of mediation. So he done many things correctly, including the setting up of the ASEAN observer team to try to reduce tension and try to prevent both Thailand and Cambodia to use force to settle this matter. That is another kind of regional pressure toward Thailand and Cambodia. And how successful it is, it's also depend on the commitment from the two countries, both Cambodia and Thailand, whether they really believe in the ASEAN agency as a way to settle this dispute peacefully, or they prefer their own bilateral way. And the bilateral way, Thailand have to prove to Cambodia the merit of the existing framework, be it JBC or General Border Committee and GBC. Both mechanism have to, Thailand have a lot to prove to Cambodia that these mechanism can be used, unhindered, without the influence from, we talk about military pressure, but inside Thailand, there's Thai domestic politics is also a factor that complicate the negotiation for peaceful settlement of a dispute through ASEAN as well. And I can go on and explain why, but this is a problem of Thai domestic politics. Whenever we have problem with the border and during the time of elections in Thailand, the Thai politics always involve using strong hand against Cambodia.
Yes, sir.
So this is issues.
Further than that, I think in this February, we're going to have a Thai election. So you have any thought about the what happened between Cambodia and Thailand in the post-Thai elections?
Yeah. Well, thank you again. I think in my view, whatever the election result would be, it would be best if Cambodia continue the course. That is to say, to use diplomatic way of settle dispute, peaceful way of dispute. So Cambodia need to maintain our existing practice of engaging ASEAN or relying on ASEAN or call ASEAN to help mediate these conflicts, at the same time of aware ourselves to make sure that the term and condition that set forth by the latest ceasefire and the peace accord will be fulfilled by Cambodian side. Doing our most to do that, And I think Cambodian government in this regard have done that already. So irrespective to who will be the leader of Thailand after the election, Cambodia need to maintain that position, and the position that Cambodia would honor our decision based on the MOU that has been signed in 2000, because this is the only official state-to-state agreement. It's almost become a treaty between the two countries, If you just imagine a little bit, this is an MOU, but it could have been called a treaty between Thailand and Cambodia of creating this joint border committee to demarcate it,
Yep.
So I think going forward, Cambodia should maintain the course and adhere to the ceasefire condition and the peace accord condition that has been brokered by both US and China. And I have to add that the many other power in the region support both framework, the ceasefire and the peace accord. So there's a lot of friends over there outside who also willing to support the effort made by Cambodia and Thailand should they prefer to use a peaceful way of settlement of dispute. But at the same time, I think Cambodia has been very clear about reserve our right to defend our territory should there be a military aggression. This is the issue is very difficult to dissect. We're using force to defend ourselves, but Thailand regarded this using as a force as a threat to their sovereignty. So there's a lot of explanation, continued explanation from Cambodian side, and through friends that we have in the international system, there's a lot of friends to Cambodia. So we have to continue to explain that there's no way we can be sure that whoever will lead Thailand, be it military or civilian, will be friendly to Cambodia.
Yes.
We'll see Cambodia in a different context as of now, because what I can gather around positions of Thai military is predominantly see Cambodia as a threat to their sovereignty. So until there is a recalibration of that concept and the doing from the Thai side that would prefer a more peaceful approach toward ending this conflict, Cambodia better off to stand guard and to be prepared and to engage in a high-level diplomacy with the UN, with the international community, with ASEAN, and individual ASEAN country as well.
Yes, sir. So this issue has consumed Cambodia for the past 6 months. Do you think it will continue in 2026?
Oh, yeah, I think it will not go away. It will not be resolved, in my view. Take it at face value at the moment. Cambodia repeatedly called for reconvening of the JBC to settle these issues. The Thai delay until the elections take place and the new civilian government to be formed and projecting in terms of time frame. We can say without any hesitation that roughly around May before Thailand have a new government. And even with that, there's some political party inside Thailand now mentioned that if they win the election, and I don't want to name political party, which political party Thailand mentioned this, they may review the MOU, and that can lead to the cancellations of the MOU.
Yeah.
And so Cambodia is aware of this, and I'm sure the government now having a sort of backup plan or contingency plan to deal with these issues. So I think it's important that we, Cambodia, have to exercise our utmost diplomatic skill, as well as prepare ourselves in the eventuality that Thailand continue to be hostile to the peace process in dealing with these border conflicts. And if I may add one last word about how, in my view, the peaceful solution can be achieved in this very difficult time. So I think that the most important player in this aspect is the country of Cambodia and Thailand themselves. The two conflicting parties have to agree that they should declare truce. They should declare that the way to end this conflict is not military approach, but more peaceful approach.
Yeah.
So they have to do that. I mean, both countries, if there is a form of government, the prime minister of both countries should sign a truce, declaration of truce, that meaning Cambodia and Thailand would throw away or would up away from military approach. and to use only diplomatic way to end this conflicts. And by doing that, they should follow up with immediate decision to remove a military threat from both sides, from both borders. So the first step is to, in backing up the truce, that if they decide to declare, when they meet again, when there's a formal government from Thailand, and they need to back up with demilitarize the military threat from the border. And the truce can be done in accordance to the ceasefire agreement mediated by ASEAN chair, Malaysia, and supported by US and China and other major power. And the second way of make sure that peace can be returned is to empower or to ensure that the bilateral mechanism can work its wonder to bring back peace and stability to both sides. This is to say that empowering the bilateral framework like the Thai-Cambodian Joint Border Commission, the General Border Committee, with sincere and frank dialogue, from both sides, and seeking a practical resolution with mutual respect from both sides to end this. And the dialogue should focus on way and mean through which peaceful way can work its own wonder. That is to say, by reopening the border, checkpoint. If not, or at one time they should consider a step-by-step opening of border checkpoint, and to restore diplomatic channel of communication. That means you need to upgrade back the diplomatic, bring back the ambassador both sides should be reinstitute, and resolve. They have to work through the bilateral scheme to resolve unsettled border demarcation, particularly on contentious area of the border where there remain a contested feud between both sides and Thailand and Cambodia, and they have to sustain the diplomatic process and do not discount the involvement or don't shy away from the involvement of a third-party mediation, particularly when it comes to issues like joint demining. Joint demining, not necessarily between only Thailand and Cambodia, but Thailand and Cambodia with the ASEAN demining team, or we can think about the US support in the demining team, or the Chinese support in the demining team. And also they have to, at the same time, exercise political will to compromise some of their contentious issue through shared vision and long-term stability that they need. And they have to, at the very last point that I want to make, both sides, Thailand, have to abide by international law on the one hand, but also good neighborliness principle on the other hand. They also have to look at their bilateral relation in the context of regional peace, So going for international law is one way, but also taking into consideration whatever they do will also foster good neighborliness principle. This is my view.
Definitely, I agree with you. We both Cambodia and Thailand, not only the state to state, but the public discourse, we should focus on the exit strategy from this conflict. Yeah, we should focus on the way to normalization, the relations between the two countries. The immediate remedy, like what you mentioned, I think the most important thing right now is to demilitarize the conflict zones, and it requires a huge political willingness to do so. And another thing to reconnect the interdependence between the two countries. Both Cambodia and Thailand, we have not one depend on the other, but interdependent. We codependent, especially for those who living in the border. So I think the reopening of the border is very essential. But I also agree with you. We need to abide by the international law, but at the same time, we need to stick in mind the concept of good neighborliness. But anyhow, moving from this conflict, I know it's been discussed widely. It's been in our discourse for the past 6 months now. So moving beyond this Cambodia-Thailand conflict, do you think there is any pressing dynamics or interesting or significant dynamics concerning to Cambodia foreign policy, or perhaps concerning to Cambodia?
Yeah. Beyond Thai border issues, what remain high on Cambodia agenda, particularly foreign policy, is to make sure that ASEAN also resonate well in the conflicts, in the crisis in Myanmar. Everybody is watching Myanmar election now. There's election. There's all kind of skepticism. The biggest issues for ASEAN is not to be seen as reinforcing the fait accompli by the junta, the coup that they instigated, so that ASEAN are not supporting the military government, So the Cambodia would have to remain vigilant with the crisis in Myanmar and lend our support wholeheartedly to the Philippine chair. Beside the crisis in Myanmar, what Cambodia should be mindful of is the lingering, ongoing issues about the South China Sea, which is also affecting ASEAN relevant, particularly the wrapping up of the COC. I think Cambodia should be the member of ASEAN that can promote ASEAN collective leadership with regard to this, the finalizations of the COC. And also have to be aware of the issues in the cross-strait relation,
Yes.
Taiwan, China, and now we hear Japanese new prime minister mention about issues in the South China Sea, in Taiwan, and so on. So I think Cambodia need to be proactively a party to the solution rather than to promote misunderstanding or something. And my last point about it is to make sure that Cambodia use our position correctly or appropriately when it comes to U.S. and China rivalry. And another big issues. Maybe you can do another podcast. But Cambodia need to be mindful that both Cambodia and ASEAN need China and the U.S. in the region to foster stability, to foster prosperity, and to make sure that this region remain at peace so that everybody can enjoy themselves. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. That's the end of our first episode, and I thank you for sharing the insight. We have heard a lot of things, from the megatrends to the situation between Cambodia-Thailand conflict, and of course what concerning Cambodia on the issue related to geopolitical landscape. Thank you again, Excellency, and to our audience, stay tuned to our next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.